Hi, I am a Viking. We Vikings used to live in Scandinavia, in what is now modern Norway, Sweden and Denmark. For some centuries we remained quietly in our northern home. We were farmers, merchants and raiders, and we exchanged furs, amber and fish for European goods. However, in the 8th century, a social, economic and political change occurred in the area and provoked among us a spirit of unrest and adventurous enterprise. That's the reason why we moved as far as North America, Russia, Newfoundland and other places. Between the middle of the 8th century and the beginning of the 11th, in what is now called the Viking Age, around 200,000 people left Scandinavia to settle in other lands, mainly Iceland, Ireland, England, Scotland, France and Sicily.
We came to England in 3 well-marked stages. The first waves were between 787 and 850, when we attacked mostly monasteries and near-coast towns. Sacred vessels of gold and silver, jewel shrines, costly robes, and valuables of all kinds were carried off, and English people were captured to be made slaves. We attacked also important Christian centers of learning in the northeast of England, Lindisfarne and Jarrow. The second stage is the work of large armies, and it is marked by widespread plundering in all parts of the country and by extensive settlement. During this period, we captured Canterbury and London. The eastern part of England was now largely in our hands, so began turning our attention to Essex. But our assault upon it was unsuccessful.
I'm Alfred of Wessex, the King of England, and after many trials and tribulations I defeated the Danes at the Battle of Edington in 878. I made an agreement with these people to separate England into 2 parts with the Treaty of Wedmore. Viking territory was the Danelaw and comprised the northern and eastern part of England. The rest of England was under my absolute power. I was important. I placed a huge emphasis on education, and I made English become the official written language for education and literature in order to bring back the centers of learning destroyed by these Vikings. I also founded a court school to educate nobles, and I translated many texts from Latin to English.
The third stage of the Scandinavian incursion covers the period of political adjustment and assimilation from 878 to 1042. Under the rule of Alfred's son and grandson, Vikings forces were weakened. By the middle of the century, a large part of eastern England, though still strongly Danish in blood and custom, was once more under English rule. Toward the end of the century, however, when England seemed at last on the point of solving its Danish problem, a new and formidable succession of invasions began. In 994, Olaf, who shortly became King of Norway, was joined by Sven, King of Denmark, in a new attack on London. Finally, Sven determined to make himself king of the country. In 1014, supported by his son Nut, he crowned a series of victories in different parts of England. After his sudden death and 3 years of fighting, Nut finally claimed the throne, and for the next 25 years, England was ruled by Danish kings. So that was the story of how we arrived to England. But remember, Viking influence spread deep roots throughout world culture, trade, history, and we saw our end in assimilation, our absorption into the lands we colonized. Our legacy is extensive in the history of Europe, as warriors, as settlers, as explorers and traders. Vikings were agents of an extraordinary social and political change. In our quest for opportunity, riches and control, we did not destroy Western civilization, we enriched it.